All right. We're here with the first member of the jury, our season six winner, Zach. How are you feeling? It's been a while since your eviction, I guess.
Hi, yeah, it's been like a day. Um, I don't know. It still sucks. I wish I was still.
Yeah.
Um, I was like one vote away, and ah, it just sucks.
hmm Um, so when did you kind of foresee this being an issue, or did you think you were good, like when Nickel won HOH?
When Nickel won HOH, she was the one I felt the most comfortable with out of that little group, that Club 96 group. Because she had already saved me with a
hmm
veto before, and we had like this like winners bond little agreement thing going. Um, but once the veto picks came in and I didn't get picked, I was like, I started to get worried because I knew this would be a perfect time to backdoor me, and that
hmm
would be the most optimal way to get rid of me. Um, I was hoping she wouldn't do it because I really wasn't gonna come after her, but she ended up doing it. So
Well, um, that was like your first time, I think, as a final nominee. So, and it happened during a live type of setting. So, um, kind of what were you doing and as far as trying to get yourself votes to stay?
so I so the past few days I knew Abdi
hmm
was working on the people outside of that little group that Nick Orange and Nickel had. Um, and he was trying to get them to realize that Orange, Nick, and Nickel were running the game. And so I just went to the rest of the people because I knew once I was up, I had three guaranteed votes against me: Orange, Nick, and Jasmine.
hmm
So I needed to get the five other votes because if it was a tie, I was gone. Um, so I immediately went to Alyssa and Kat and Jacob and Legend. Apparently, Legend's rules is you have to get to him first, so I did. Um,
hmm
and then I just kept pitching that Orange and Nick were running the game, and I would gun for HOH if I stayed, and they'd get put up. And they knew I, they all know I can win comps, I can win an HOH. So I would
hmm
have been the best chance to make that move against them. But one of them didn't agree according to the vote, and so it tied, and I got sent out.
Um, who do you suspect didn't follow through?
I feel like it was Jacob just based on what Abdi had said. He told me I did great work on Kat and Alyssa, and I had guaranteed Legends vote. Um, who else was in there? It was Jacob. Who else was the fifth vote? Um, whoever the fifth vote was, I got it. But yeah, Jacob. We never talk game, and I would have been surprised if I actually got his vote. And I was trying, but didn't work out.
Understandable. Do you do you think that was ultimately like a good or a bad move for Nickel? Like y'all, I know y'all had your little winner kind of dual thing going on.
This was a good move for Orange and Nick, but not for Nickel. This was not, I don't think this was the right timing for this move for her. I don't think she should have been the one to take me out. She should have had Orange and Nick do that for her because I was never
hmm
coming after her. And if I won HOH, it would have just been Orange and Nick, and I wouldn't have put Nickel up because I still had that agreement with her. And um, yeah, she could have used me as a shield because now if anyone else wins HOH, it's clear that those four will get put up, and they could have used me as a name to throw
hmm
in front of themselves to keep themselves safe if I was still in. But now they don't have that.
That is a fair point. So What kind of mindset do you have going into jury as far as like who you want to see join your little club?
I want to see someone from that four join. Uh, yeah, that little thing they did, like at midnight on my birthday, they like had that whole weird party, and then they sent me out later that day, and that was it. Just now looking back at it, it just seems so fake and phony. And they could have just said happy birthday to me and just kept it pushing and just sent me out. But then they had to do all that extra stuff, and it just left
Hmm.
a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay. So how would you do like a quick ranking of like the people remaining as far as like who you're probably rooting for the most at this point to like least?
I'm rooting for Abdi the most, obviously. I gave him
Hmm.
immunity. I think he's gonna have trouble because he's the next target after me on that Nick Orange Nickel Jasmine side since they had nominated him while I was immune. Um, and then after that, it would be. It's weird to say it, but I'm rooting for Legend just because he's so unpredictable. But they're still keeping him in, and he only got put up like once, or has he even been put up yet? I don't remember. But they're not looking at him, and he's not on anyone's radars. Um, and then Kat, Alyssa, GT. I would.
Hmm.
I think Kat's doing well. We didn't talk much game, but she's obviously keeping herself safe. Um, Alyssa's been inactive for the past few days. GT's just inactive. Um, Jacob, I literally did not talk to that guy. It was so annoying not to talk any game with him, and he just kept telling me he had my back when I was begging for his vote, but I don't think he did because he never confirmed he would vote for me to stay, from what I remember.
Hmm.
Um, and then the four, I just don't want any of them to win just after what happened on that day. And if I'm forgetting someone,
Hmm.
that's on them.
Um, Screaming. I think you got everyone. Okay, well, let's get into your goodbye messages. You should see an exit interview text channel.
Yep, I see it.
Cute. Legend plans to do a little video, but they didn't get it in on time. But if they do one, I'll send it. And we didn't get one from Orange, but we have everyone else. Period.
Period.
But anywho, let's start with GT.
That's cute.
Right. Moving on to Alyssa.
It's cute. I'm gonna work with you and everything, and then like, it sucks you can't be part of it now. I'm surprised that because Alyssa immediately told me that she was voting for me to stay, which was weird because we hadn't talked since that Isaac eviction. So I thought she still had bad feelings about me, about like
Mhm.
even after I saved her with a veto. So yeah, I hope she does stick with Abdi.
Fair enough. Next up is Jasmine.
Um, yeah, that's fair. It was probably the one of the few chances they had to backdoor me. Um, yeah, I can't be really mad at her. We talked a little bit. She was nice. So
Fair enough. Next is Nick. Oh,
uh
perhaps I pasted wrong thing, but that. Anyway,
Um, I mean, yeah, I probably would have split them up, but they had they had like four people against my one. I don't think I would have beaten them in a comp because just based on the past few comps, I was already losing against them.
fair enough. Next is Cat.
I'm sorry, Josh saying I don't know why I decided to distance myself from you. Unfairly targeted to seem like a bad guy. Yep, Jacob. I promise I'll try my hardest to the victim. I mean, I hope Kat can do something. Um, if she'll go after Jacob, fine, sure.
Next is Abdi.
You know, that first week, I was so worried about Abdi, Michael, and Isaac having an alliance without me, and it's funny how me and Abdi ended up being
Mm-hmm.
really close. Hold on, I still didn't finish reading. Um, Not the Alyssa number one. We had a final two from day one. I'm sick. I love Abdi. Okay.
Right, next is Jacob.
Tell you that I evicted you. I think sides are starting to form. First, I think you'd be too powerful with Alyssa and Legend. They will get targeted before me. That's true. Protected by certain people in the game. Blah, blah, blah. I don't. He's going to have to do something big to even have a chance at my vote at the end if he gets there. Because he's not looking good for him right now.
Think. Next is Nicole.
Mm, Not even my alliance was shocked. This was a whole plan. Cha, I hope you're not too upset. Blah, blah, blah. You were playing both sides. I mean, I was trying to play both sides. Um, yeah, I still don't think it was the right timing. She should have had someone else do that for her instead of because she was the last person from that four I would have expected to turn against me.
Right, that is all of them. I will open the floor to fan questions if there. Let me take a look. Um, Someone is asking, why did you say no hard feelings while leaving the game, but it seems you have hard feelings now?
Uh, because I that was in the moment and I had time to process everything now. And looking back at it, I wasn't thinking about what had happened earlier that day because I was just trying to get the votes to stay, and then realizing that they did all of that like at midnight with the birthday thing when they could have just said happy birthday and just moved on instead of doing all that celebration stuff. It just seemed really fake now that I look back at it.
Fair enough. How does it feel knowing you've continued the legacy of iconic cancers in this org?
I don't know if this run was iconic. This was pretty bad. I I hadn't played from the bottom before. It was interesting trying to figure out how I could stay. I think if I did manage to get past this vote, I could have done something to get out
Hmm.
of the bottom and get back in the middle, but that didn't happen. So
Right. Are you going back into retirement, and why is the answer yes?
yes, Amanda, I'm going back into retirement, and I'm staying in retirement. I'm sticking to hosting. Um, this was really stressful. I was really hesitant about coming back, and after playing from the bottom so much, it was too much. Uh, this was
Hmm.
a good final run because it's a different experience from the past two times I've played orgs.
Well, I'm glad you accepted, and at least you're continuing the trend of winners being 11th place on their second time.
Oh
But anywho, out of the cast, who's the Ali Brooke and who's the Normani?
shit. Oh shit. I have to think of the cast. Fuck. Um, Normani, Ali, Ali. I'm guessing it's a bad thing. I don't know. Jacob, Ali, and Normani, someone who's doing good. I'll just say Nickel.
All right. If it comes down to quote unquote the four, how would you kind of rank that as far as who you would want to win?
Um, the four. I don't know what Jasmine has been doing. She's been pretty like not active. I don't know if she would have to do something big to guarantee my vote. Um, Nickel, if she makes it past and still gets to the end, she would probably get my vote just because that's a winner making it to the end twice. Um, Nick,
Hmm.
he's also been a big target. He won like he's all other than me, he's been the one who's been winning the most comps. So he'll probably comp out, and we'll have to see who he's next to. If he's next to Nickel, it would be a tight race. Um, Orange Orange was like just spreading a lot of stuff that I was saying, and I don't know. I'd have to see his play, but I would put him third and put Nickel and Nick as the top two.
Interesting. Um, well, it was a double eviction the night you left. Who are you hoping followed you, or do you think followed you at least?
Um, Either I know I was pushing to in my campaign, I was pushing for Orange and Nick to get put up. So if someone else won HOH, I'm assuming they did. But if the four won HOH, um, we'd probably see Alyssa up, and she'd probably get sent out. Alyssa and GT up. But I think Kat kind of spoiled in her goodbye message that Orange ran out, but whatever.
Orange was evicted. GT won HOH, nominated Orange and Nick.
Oh,
Abdi won the power veto, did not use it, and Orange left 6-1. So,
see, where was this energy last week?
screaming. Um, but to end off on kind of a high note, you did have like the POV record coming into this with 5 wins. You've further extended that into 8 wins, more than, period. You broke your tie with Ryan for overall comp wins. You have 12 now, so you firmly have won the most competitions in this org. You made it the longest without being a final nominee with 63 days. So, kind of left off a lasting impact. So I'm glad you accepted, and I hope you are happy with the game you played.
I am. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was a very fun experience.
Another question, someone wanted to know how you feel being placement twins with Flynn and Amelia.
Oh, it's Blinn and Amelia. Oh, I'm happy then.
Korea. But I think that's all the questions. So I'm gonna let you head to jury.
All right. Thanks for having me back.